Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me from, say yes at the comment section if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great, great. It has been, should I say, super long time that we've had webinars like this and conversations like this, and I've definitely missed you all. And I love the reception that I've been getting from newsletters. I absolutely also love the vibe that you guys are giving the community. You guys are so great. So um, we all, as you all know, we like to call ourselves the I for G's. As in G's. Um, and welcome to today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining. This is really overwhelming, as like I said, we've not had conversations in a while, and I hope this you get to learn a lot, you get to meet these amazing speakers. I'm going to introduce them soon, and at the same time get to make sure that you secure a job as a designer. um And yes, we also found out that we've been having a lot of reception from outside Nigeria. So if you are from Nigeria, you're from anywhere in Nigeria, let me know. If you're from anywhere in Ghana, Kenya, anywhere in Africa, basically, or anywhere around the world, let me know in the comment section. Let's see how many people we have from different parts of the world. Lagos, Nigeria, thank you. Monisola. Kenya, woo! Yes, Kenya, Nigeria, from Turkey. Wow. Lagos, Nigeria. Of course, I'm also in Lagos, Nigeria. Ibadan, Nigeria. Yes, Lagos, Nigeria. Delta, Rwanda. Oh my God, welcome. Enugu, Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria. Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Welcome. Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome, Abosede. Thank you so much for joining. So I just started a poll, and I want you to kind of say yes or no if or you're learning if you are in the design space. And even if you're not in this design space, you could definitely learn one or two on how to secure your job, as I'm sure our speakers has a lot of experience in um, job searching and then maximizing your skills in that effort. Lagos, Nigeria, welcome. Port Harcourt, welcome. Enugu, welcome. So let me see if we have our speakers here so I can introduce you all. Ikoyi, Lagos, welcome. Welcome, Oluwarotimi. Lagos, Nigeria, welcome. And yes, okay, so let me know if you can see the poll. I'm trying to figure out the number of designers that are in this webinar today. Bagada, Lagos, Benin City, welcome. Port Harcourt, Egwolo, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Okay, welcome, Egwolo. Let me try to reach our speakers. Okay, great.
Hi everyone.
Hey Blessing, we found you.
Okay, great. Thank you for taking the poll.
Yeah. So
Lagos, Nigeria. Lagos, Lekki, Lagos. Wow. So we have a lot of people from Lagos.
So I guess wanted us to kind of get aligned on where we're going with the bars.
So still trying to reach our speakers. So please give me a minute. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the poll, guys. Thank you. Yes, the recorded version of this will be available as we always upload it on our YouTube channel. So you get to, watch after this. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Olayonju Idris. He is a UI UX designer, and just like he likes to describe himself as a process-driven product designer. I'm sure he's going to give you more details into what that is all about, but his expertise lies in design systems, icon design, strategy, journey mapping, visual design, all about this intricate design that goes into the product design generally. And he, as I mentioned earlier, he has over 3 to 4 years experience as a UI UX designer. And he has also worked in a lot of the design space across, I can say across Nigeria. Yeah. So if you're here, please unmute your mic so we can hear you. Olayo Idris, welcome. Thank you so much for accepting to be here today.
Hello, thank you very, very much. Good afternoon. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you. Good afternoon.
Okay, it's nice meeting each and every one of you. Thanks for the introduction, Hanif. My name is Olayo Idris. I'm currently a product design lead at MoneyMe, and I'll call myself a multidisciplinary product designer because I have range of experience building products across different industries. I've worked in industries like fintech, cryptocurrency. I've built a SaaS product before, and I've also worked with international clients before. So that's why I call myself multidisciplinary. So, and my strength lies in product design, strategy, icon design. Follow me on Twitter, you can see my icon design process. I do lots of it. And I also do things like auditing, help companies audit their design work. Just all those things around strategy. That's what I do currently. So I'm always open to talk to young people that are also entering design, but have a bit of experience. That's always been a great one, chatting with each and every one of you. I hope you had a great one. Have a great session ahead. Thank you.
Yes, I hope so too. Looking forward to learning a lot from you, getting a job, how to maximize your skill, things like that. And especially as a new designers. So I took a quick poll and wanted to see the number of designers that we have, in this conversation to see how a lot of people could definitely learn from this. And yes, we have a lot more designers between 50 and above percent. So we're good to go. I'm sure a lot of people would definitely learn from this. And as I mentioned earlier, the recorded version would definitely be available on YouTube for people that are not here. And that way they could, always
Okay.
back to, see it as a resources, as we definitely want everybody to still keep on learning, regardless. Um,
Okay.
Okay, so just so it's not just us in this conversation, if you can hear us, let me know in the comment section so we know we're carrying everybody along. Loud and clear. Yes, great. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. So without further ado, I'm going to ask you like a quick question about your history in the design space. Basically, how did you know UI UX was going to be your career path, and how did you stick basically? Yeah.
Okay. It started as a fun one for me. It was back in school then. It was back in 2017, 2016, 2017. I was still in school then. I know UIA started as more like a new thing in Nigeria back then. I had some other bosses like Usman Abiola. I'm sure you know him well. So he's one of my big boss. So he used to do things like graphic design, and he had some friends back then. So I was in, I think, 300 level then. Yeah, I think I was around 300 level then. So I had this kind of roommate that brought in one beautiful screen like that to my room. I was like, wow, this is actually cool. And I was learning Java then. I wasn't a good Java person. I never really liked it. I was very very liked it. So I just I just told him how I just asked him how did he do it, and he said he used things like Photoshop. So I came from the Photoshop kind of angle. So it wasn't really Figma from the start. So it's more like Photoshop, Illustrator. So we have designers use Photoshop to build UI designs. You know how many hours that would actually take you. So and he designed a screen. It's beautiful. Designed the screen and the flows. I told him, okay, come teach me about how do you do this. I never really had any knowledge about UX design. Graphic design was starting out. I was copying some of the designs I saw from my friends then. And he said, okay, we start a session. So we created a WhatsApp group back then in school. I graduated from LabTech. So we created the WhatsApp group, and it was like started teaching us. It took us through critique sessions. It took us through about how to design, showed me a lot of things about resources, about how to use colors, how to use typography, how to use balance, and those kind of things in your design. Mostly my interface design skills, I actually learned it from him, even if I had to go and do that myself. But I was so intrigued about it. I just told myself that this is what I wanted to do. Just told myself that after I saw that, and it hasn't been more like the most smooth one for me, but I've learned a lot from. I'm hearing background noises there, please. Who's there? It's affecting my ears, please. So I learned a lot from him, and he showed me. Although the funny thing about this is just the fact that he's not doing design again currently. He's now a senior dev now. But he really showed me the path about how I should go about it and how I should just continue. I just started from there, started moving from school. So that's just a bit about my history. I have more to say, but that's just a bit, so I don't waste time.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it felt like you were going to keep on going on and on, but basically what I kind of heard from this was you were able to find out that you didn't get interested in programming basically, and then that kind of
Sure.
yeah, opened the window for you into design. So
Sure.
as while you were speaking, our second guests of the house joined us. Hi, Aderisola, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And I know that you have very tight schedule, and so I'm just going to like ask you a few couple of questions so you get to, like we get to maximize the time. So same question to you. How were you able to click? How did UI UX design click for you as a career path? And yeah.
For me, it's a semi-long story, but I'll try and shorten it so that I'm not taking too much time. I would say that when I got started in design, like I actively decided I wanted to be a designer in 2019. And I was trying to find out the different aspects of like what the different aspects of design were and which one I could specialize in. I had decided I would probably like stick with graphic design or maybe even try out like brand and logo design, but that didn't really work out. I had initially completely written off UI UX because I thought it was too complicated for me to do. So I wasn't even willing to learn more about it in the first place. But I joined this group chat that I somehow luckily found on Instagram called Ideators. And soon after I joined, they had this class, which was held by this guy that I absolutely looked up to. He was the owner of a digital agency that does amazing work. So he did a class on introduction to UI UX. I didn't really plan to attend the class. I actually didn't even attend the class, but then it was held on WhatsApp. So like a couple of days later, I went back to read through the chats, and he broke it down in a way that made it seem so easy to understand. And then even then, regardless, like I said, I had written it off and I wasn't planning to actually learn. But a couple of months down the line, maybe like 2, 3 months later, I decided to just try it out. And I did my first design. And since then, I've just been in it because I loved it. So.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, it's weird, or it's kind of touching how you kind of root off design entirely, and then at the end of the day, you find yourself in that field. It just
Yeah.
I think you're
So,
mute. Sorry, you're mute.
Oh, sorry, thank you. So I was saying that it's kind of weird how you wrote it off entirely and now you're in in that part now, shining and then ruling the world as a Anyways, the next question was going to be how what gave you the confidence in knowing that design or UI UX design to be precise was your career path and knowing that okay, now I'm a designer and now I'm ready to go into the workspace.
I,
sorry, I didn't hear what you
I, can,
said.
Okay, I said how were you what gave you the confidence to know that this time I am a designer and I'm ready to go into the workspace?
Okay. Idris, do you want to answer first? Or
I think you should go first.
um, for me, I wouldn't say that there was anything per se. I just remember that I was doing a lot of practice projects, like with the video challenge, and um, at some point, I initially thought, oh, I would like to be a freelancer, right? Like, oh, I would just like to keep doing this from the comfort of my home and not really have to answer to anyone. But after a while, I don't know, I realized that if I was actually going to grow, and this is just probably me personally, but if I was going to grow and develop myself in this field, I needed to actually join a team. I needed to make it more than just a hobby, which is what like I sort of wanted it to be initially. But then I have this habit of starting things and not seeing them through. And like knowing that about me, I was like, okay, yeah, if I'm going to actually go through with this. If I want design to be what I want it to be, I'm going to have to get a job. And that's like more or less what spurred me to get a job. And I have been in this since then. So.
Oh, nice. Idris, do you want to go and answer the question?
Okay, for me, since I was just starting out back then, I started with some projects. So I had this company called, I can't remember, I can't remember the name well. It's not like a shipping company like that. They had me do designs of, it's a company related to like compare them to Shopify. Yeah, compare them to Shopify. So I knew the CEO back then. I'm not even sure his name. So this guy would pay me. The money was quite small. Photoshop, Twitter back then. All it was going forward, just just for data connection. What I was still in school back then, so just building the data easy to open, easy to do internet. Figma was still quite very new itself then. So I would go into Figma. I never really understood design systems, never really understood things like iconography. I never really understood where I was going to then. But the sense of the fact that I was being paid to do something that I know well, even if it's not something that money that is in my pocket, something that I was still actually translating out for someone to actually use. I was quite happy about it. Then it started that way. I learned about it in the process. Later on, I went to YouTube, started learning also. So I improved and improved and improved and improved before I got my first gig. That was for a friend, a close friend of mine when I went for a hackathon back then. So it was like we should build a website that has to do with cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency back then. So it was this blockchain kind of stuff. So my hand wasn't that very strong, but he paid me for it. I wouldn't lie about that. He paid me for it. I collected like around 3,000 or something. Yeah, but it really helped me. I think that was the time I had confidence to do more, and I started pushing from there.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, getting the opportunity, regardless if you were a perfect designer, waiting for the perfect time. That I've seen that a lot of our community members are kind of going through, which kind of sparked this conversation in the first place. So Aderisola, if you could give us some like quick tips or specifically for designers and generally as a techie on how to kind of secure your first job, reaching out or being in the position to get reached out to, however.
Hello, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find, like, I actually just wrote my notes down. So, okay, found it. So I would say that, well, the first and most obvious tip would be to put yourself out there. So basically, everything that I would say here is more or less what worked for me, like the things that I did that helped me get my first job. So yeah, first of all, I would definitely say put yourself out there. When I first started, or actually before I got into UI UX, I was doing like little designs on the side. So like I said, I had decided to try out brand and logo design. So there were a couple of things I had done. I had like also did I had also done wow, I said also did English. I had also done designs for like my church and all like little programs, right? But I was always afraid to post my work because I felt that it wasn't good enough. And I remember that I had this friend who kept telling me that just post, right? You would grow, you would get better, you keep improving. Don't expect things to be 100% perfect before you start putting yourself out there. I didn't agree, and I still never posted my work until I got into UI UX, which is like I said, when I started UI UX, it was like I had found like my purpose in life, which is so cliche, but yeah. And I started putting myself out there. I started posting my work, even if it wasn't that good. I posted it. And posting my work consistently um connected me. It like gave me access to various people. A lot of people that I have in my life right now, my mentors, my friends, I got them simply because like they saw my work on Twitter. And like it was through these mentors and friends that I actually secured my first job. So yeah, definitely just put yourself out there, let people know what it is that you do, because you can't get hired if nobody actually knows what it is that you do. um Also, have I would say have at least one case study in your portfolio if you want to get a job. I before I even came for this session, I had asked some of my friends for tips, like what are the tips that they would also give like new UI UX designers who are looking to secure their job. And they also mentioned this thing about case study. One of them, Anushibi Omo, he said that like you should have a good and solid body of work and have at least 2 or 3 case studies. I would say just one, because I mean I got my first job with only one case study, but I mean he suggests having like 2 to 3. And why he did this was because when he applied for, I guess, his first job, he lost that opportunity because the person that was going to hire him said that they only saw screens in his portfolio. They couldn't find like actual work. So as much as it's amazing to have, screens of designs, you're doing the daily UI challenge and whatnot, definitely have a case study where people who are hiring are not just looking to see that you can design, which is like very good. You should be able to design like visually appealing things. But they also want to know that you can actually think through your designs. That design is not just like, okay, I'm moving boxes and shapes around or I'm making this look pretty. Like, how do you think through the problem that you're trying to solve? How do you go about solving that problem? That's basically what a case study is supposed to show. So yeah, like I've been flogging on this. Oh, someone said, what is a case study? A case study is basically it's an explanation of your process, more or less, like very simplified. It's an explanation of your design process. So if you are designing an app, for instance, and the app is to solve a specific problem, like let's take Uber as an example. The person who designed or created Uber was trying to solve the problem of getting people from one location to another with ease without having to, like, stand on the road and order cabs, like as by like, oh, you're trying to hail a cab as they pass by, without having to use like major public transports. This is like an easy way to get what's the word? To get a ride right from your house, right? So that's the problem that the person is trying to solve. In the case study, you have your problem statement. What am I trying to solve? And how do I go about solving it? So you apply like how you applied all the different UX processes in your bid to solve that problem. Everything. It's basically like aligned a step-by-step process in your design process. That's all it is, simplified. So yeah, have at least one or two case studies if you would like to apply for a job because it shows people how you are thinking about things. Um, Another tip would be constantly seek feedback on your work. I mean, this is more or less like how to develop yourself, but then it also helps you in getting jobs, right? Because one, in seeking feedback, like you improve because you're getting feedback from people who have been in it much longer than you have been. So your work is definitely better. And then seeking feedback consistently also helps you when you get into a workspace. Because in the workspace, you are not the only person there. You don't like call all the shots. You're working with other people. You have a boss that you answer to. You probably have product managers that you answer to. You have teammates that you like collaborate with, right? You need to be able to know how to ask for and receive feedback in those situations. Know the feedback to take, know the feedback to, I don't know, I don't want to say discard, but yeah, just build a habit of asking for and receiving feedback. That would definitely help you. Also, I would say when you're putting out your portfolio CV, don't just like design it or just create it and put it out. Oh, I'm looking for a job. Oh, ask for feedback on what your CV or portfolio looks like from like people who have been in this much longer than you have been. When I was trying to get my first job, I remember I sent my CV. I didn't even have a CV. But then when I found out I needed to create one, I sent it to a couple of my friends and mentors and someone who I knew was a hiring manager at another company even. And they told me the things that I needed to look for. I mean, the things that like hiring managers would typically look for in a CV and the things that I needed to add, all of that. So yeah, definitely ask for feedback on your CV and portfolio before you officially put it out. Um, then I would say don't steal other people's work. And if you are inspired by anybody's work, then give credits where necessary. Because something that we see a lot lately is that designers, I mean, we have this whole still like an artist thing going on, which like there isn't any problem with that. But okay, the perfect example I would give is one of my friends, Modia Masuan. He has this thing in his portfolio called, I can't remember what the exact name is, but it's something about Kaduna, right? It's like it was a web design or something for, I don't know, get to know Kaduna. I really can't remember the exact name, but it's in his portfolio and it's extremely good. And then one day, like he created it, I don't know, maybe 2 years, 3 years ago. Then sometime last year, he came across a designer on, I don't know, maybe Twitter or Instagram. or Behance, and he saw that this designer had more or less replicated his project. He didn't call it Kaduna, he probably called it like Lagos or some other place, and he changed a couple of the things, but you could tell that it was very heavily inspired by what it is that Mudia had done. And he didn't really give credit to Mudia, but it was in his portfolio. And if other people saw it, they would think that he was the originator of that work. And that's just like plain wrong, right? So you can get inspiration from people, you can do all of that. I have like designs that I've done that someone literally tried to replicate, but at least they gave credit. If you want to do that to build your practice skills, sure, no problem. But make sure that you give credit where credit is due and you do not pass off other people's work as yours. Because when the time comes for you to actually put in the work, if they hire you based off on what they've seen somebody else do, when you get hired, if somehow you manage to like scam them through the entire interview process and whatnot, when you get hired, you would just be revealed for the scam that you actually are. Then let your portfolio be clear, like show what is relevant to the role that you're applying for. So if you're applying for, like we said, this is a UI UX class. So if you're applying for a UI UX role, don't let people see, for instance, photography in your portfolio or see logo design in your portfolio. It just gets confusing. I mean, you can have for instance, if you use, let's say, Notion as your portfolio, on Notion, you can create different pages. So you can have a page specifically for logo design. You can have a page specifically for product design. You can have a page for illustration, graphic design. You can show all these things that you're doing. And if like they're interested, definitely they can check them out and say, oh, this person can actually bring even more to the table. Sure, that's fine. But then don't send like maybe a Behance link and you're applying for a UI UX role and the hiring manager has to scroll through so many images of like maybe illustrations or logo designs before they can actually see the UI UX work that you've done. It just gets very frustrating for them and they probably will just close it immediately instead of try to search. So I know that like I know people who have had that problem. So yeah, that's definitely something you do not want to do. I feel like I've spoken a lot already. I hope those tips have been helpful. I will just let Idris give the remaining.
Yeah, thank you so much. It wasn't like so, to stop you at the time. Like there was no perfect time to stop you because we were, just dropping gems and all. So Idris, please go ahead if you have a few things to add to it as well.
Okay, Darren has basically said all that I want to say. Just add some few tips about the portfolio section. I think you can have like 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, showing your work. You don't have to show like everything. Instead of seeing people making their portfolio is they try and show the fact that they worked on all the projects. No, it doesn't work that way. You can just try to choose a particular section. Okay, I worked on this. Okay, this is what I worked on. Maybe you work on a particular feature. Just try and show what you worked on, how you worked on the feature, some of the lessons you learned, your role. Just try to show it. Can just be only one. If you have like 10 features that you did on a particular app, don't show all the 10, just show only one. So what hiring managers want to see is your ability to actually collaborate, one, your ability to actually be curious, two, your ability to actually understand how to explain problems and how to solve problems in one, not like everything at once. So if I want to like show that kind of thing in your portfolio, another thing I want to show is your product thinking skills. So I do something every day where I go to Play Store and I look at the likes of a particular app. If I see that your app like has like 100,000 likes, or sorry, 100,000 views, or like 200,000 views, like close to 1,000,000 views. I mean, that app is very, very good. I look at your reviews. So I'll just download the app and I'll just go through the app, think about the flows, think about what are some of the things that you can use, you can improve from the app. And I try to write them down. Sometimes I have like in my Figma stuff, I have like a place I call trash. So that in that trash page, that's where you find all my practice files. So I just go think about what problem are they not solving, how can I improve the app, and I try to just start sketching. Sometimes I'll ask people questions, target audience questions on how I feel I could improve. These are some of the things that your hiring managers want to see. Like, can you think through a product? If you put you on the team, can you think through it? can I leave you by your own self and think through that product yourself? And you can actually you might not really get it because design is all about iterations. So you want to show that product thinking skills in your portfolio, not too much voluminous, just small, simple, and straight. And if you're putting projects in your case on your portfolio, try and put simple projects. You don't have to build a very complex app. Think about lively, simple things that you can solve. Maybe the thing can be, maybe you're trying to improve how people take notes. Maybe you're trying to improve how people save pictures into cloud. I was reading through the portfolio of someone called, I think Lola Shew, yeah, and I found a project called Scanner. You can check it out. She was there trying to explain how the Scanner app works, and I was quite interested in it. Like, it was very, very simple, but she really, I really liked the way she did that portfolio. It was simple, it was concise, and you will just get what you want from there. This portfolio you can copy. Don't copy, just try and understand how you can do that and just follow their steps to do it. Another tip I want to mention is reaching out to people. People don't just go to people and tell them to mentor you. People value their time a lot. What I would say is you might want to create a form of rapport with them on the timeline, even if it's on Twitter, on the timeline first, before you can try to go to their DM and tell them to give you feedback on their portfolio. Just be open-minded. They will actually give you that feedback. There's one thing I've realized recently while hiring. If it's a designer that wants to hire you, or if it's like a designer that has a solid team of designers, they look for niche skill set. Don't worry, I'll drop links to the portfolio. They look for niche skill set. So for instance, in our team here, we try and look for niche skill set. Don't want somebody that has like jack of all trades. It doesn't work. So we try to look for skills that, okay, do you have illustration skills? What can you bring to the table? Do you have illustration skills? Do you have content skills? Do you have iconography skills? Do you have maybe you know how to do information architecture? I would like to see that kind of thing in your portfolio as more like a newbie. While you're trying to like adapt to everything, you might want to show one that you're strong with. Me, for instance, I'm strong with iconography. I'm not good in illustration. I'm strong in iconography. I'm strong in strategy, and I'm strong in understanding how to flow through directions. So you might want to put that kind of skill set. Some people are good in content. That's their own kind of part might be content, but there's still some content. They call them UX designers, UX writers, or UX content strategists. They're the ones that do things like content, how content will flow around app. Those skill sets are very, very important. Teams need it, trust me. I know teams that struggle with content, really struggle with content. You want to put that neat skill set in your work. Then Jerry talked about sharing your work on social media. I'm a big advocate of it, like big advocate for it. So you might want to share what you do, and you might while you share your work, you might be kind of like have it in your head that, okay, I'm looking for the likes. I don't think you should chase the likes, because as someone that wants to view your portfolio, I've seen hiring managers that go to threads to go and search for talent. I've seen it on my timeline several times. They do it very, very well. I do it sometimes on my own end too. So you may want to like show your work on social media, especially Twitter. It's very, very important. So show your process. Be willing to learn. Don't just tell them you did this. Show that you're willing to learn. Show that you're curious. Show that you're open to feedback. Show that you're open to corrections, because people will actually correct you. It's very, very important. People will correct you. It is just part of life. But you have to be open to feedback, to listen to, okay, understand why they are correcting you. Understand why the context of what the person is trying to say, so that you can use that one to make a conclusion of why am I wrong with this particular point? Why am I wrong with this particular point? You might want to look out for that too. Another thing I used to do one time is, if there's a company you want to work for, I try and follow up the company. Like, I follow up their designers, I follow up their blog posts, everything about them. I follow designers a lot. I have wonderful mentors that I follow. I know Steve Sugar is one of my best designers I know very well. I know Danny Petty. Um, you can actually follow them on Dribble, you can actually follow them on Twitter. They post wonderful stuffs. They post wonderful stuffs. If it's for icons, there are some designers about icons too. So I kind of go online to actually search for these designers and their niche skill set. If you're a designer that okay, your specialty is iconography, you're my friend, because icon is one of the basic aspect of UI design. So I guess that's why I know how to do icons a lot. So I follow these designers. I ask for feedback. There's one designer from Metal Lab that I like a lot. His name is Noah Jacobos. So you can check him out too. He's one I really like his work a lot. So I follow up these designers to just understand how they do stuff, just to make myself learn more. So you are supposed to be able to show your portfolio that you are the kind of person that wants to learn more, not the fact that you've known all. Like you're always willing to learn. Even me too, currently, I'm always willing to learn. I learn from my teammates. I try and sit down and listen to what everybody has to say first, before I can say anything. Another thing is curiosity. Curiosity. This one is while you're in the interview. So basically, I've found out in most of the interviews I've been able to attend that sometimes it's not always really about your portfolio. Sometimes it's always about um, um, it's always about the way you talk. If I'm trying to hire you as a designer and there's some things you say, I will know if you're newbie or if you're just starting out or you're just an experienced person. I will know. There's some things you say that will make me know. And people ask more like intelligence kind of questions. So these intelligence kind of questions will enable them to know, okay, is this person a newbie? Is this person an experienced person? You might want to actually just filter some of those things. So talk a lot about what you do, talk a lot about it through your interview process to enable people know that, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. If you understand about design system, talk about your design system. If you understand about iconography, talk a lot about it. If you understand about how to mix colors, talk about it. It's your experience. These things, they count. They count when you're looking for a job, and they will give you additional marks while they're trying to score you rather than the portfolio. There's the portfolio, yeah, there's the talking stage too. You have to just do both to be able to get to where you want to be. So I think I've said enough points already.
Yeah.
So I've said
Um,
enough. I think that's just all from my own end. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Idris. That was a lot. I mean, definitely, if possible, if our community members request it, we might still try to schedule another call on this, or try to create a resource in form of an article or a template document of some sort that the community members can use. And so Aderisola is going to be leaving very soon, and I'm going to kind of ask her if she has any last comments for us, any last advice. Yeah.
Hi. So yeah, one last thing I would say, and this isn't really focused on your work per se, but then it also adds up to you getting your first job. Be a good person. Just literally just be a good person, because something that a lot of companies look at, it's not just, I mean, while people look at your work, you have to know what it is that you're doing. Definitely. I mean, we've already spoken a lot about that. But then during the interview stages, they also check to see if you are a good fit for the organization. And that's usually dependent on the kind of person that you are. They tend to ask questions that, even though you may not sense that they are asking them for a specific reason, they definitely are. They're trying to get a sense of your personality, your character, your response in certain situations. And this isn't even, oh, okay, put your best foot forward, pretend. Definitely, I'm not going to say that you should do that, because I'm the kind of person that would say just be yourself. Even if you're, I don't know, a shitty person, then just be yourself. You wouldn't get the job. But what I'm trying to say is be a good person genuinely, not just because you're trying to get the job. Because if you just put up an act solely for the purpose of the interview, so you can get the job, once you get into the organization, then who you are would show, and they may fire you or whatever. It just like taints your character. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. Be a good person. If you're genuinely a good person and you're genuinely good at what it is that you do, you have a very high chance of getting like your first job. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ademisola. It was really amazing having you here with us today. And for everyone just joining us, welcome. We have less than 15 minutes on this session, and we'll continue with Idris giving us last tips as well. And yeah, and also, yes, the recording for this webinar will definitely be available on our YouTube channel. So please say thank you to Aderisola in the comment section. I'm sure she's going to love it. And try to follow her on Twitter, on our social media, and let her know what you learned. Yeah, just thank you. So let her know what you learned from this session. Try to share what you learned as well on social media, Twitter, Instagram, on our Telegram group as well. Thank you so much, Darren. It was so amazing and nice for you to be here today. So Idris, if you could give us any last tips as well, and this question that has also been bugging me: what has made you what has made you continue to be in the UI UX career path?
Okay, so I'll take you one after the other. So the first one is last tips: focus. Focus is very, very important. Focus. Don't give up. That's another thing. Don't give up. Don't people try to be, I'll call it, influenced a lot by some of the things they see on social media, because you feel somebody's in a level and is making it, you're not making it, you feel very, very bad. Please don't be. Everybody has their own time, and you your time will come. Time will come. Just keep on doing the path, keep on learning. The major thing is learning, like learn every day. Keep on learning every day. Don't stop learning. Burn candles, burn nights, burn day, always on the design, always on the design part. Always on the design part. So design is a very, very fun field. It's a very, very fun one. That's if you are willing to wait. And I want to address a small point. It's not a quick money scheme. Please, I must sincerely say this. It's not a quick money scheme. Don't feel you started today and you're really collecting money like in the next 2 months. It won't work. You will feel disappointed, sincerely. Feel disappointed. So it's not a quick rich money scheme. Focus on your skill set. There's more to earn in this field. I can confidently say it anywhere. There's more to earn in this field. Just try and put your head down, learn a lot. Currently, by my own self, I still have like designers that I grew up with that I still run to and ask, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this? Because I can't know everything. So I still go to them, I still ask questions. Even yesterday, I scheduled one with one of the design leads. I told him, guy, how did you do this? I did a lot. This is not showing like I'm being proud of anything. It's just to show the fact that we are all together. We all want to learn. We all want to like be better than who we are. Design is still quite like I would still say it's still very, very new. I'll call it still very, very new in Nigeria. Like, but we are almost getting there. Like we're almost getting there. Just my dream is to have like thousands of designers spun out from Africa to do over the world. Like take care of the world. Yeah, that is how it should be. But we have less. We have less of them. And also another thing is to advocate for the ladies. I advocate for ladies a lot when it comes to design field and everything.
Sorry to stop you there. It was, one of our focus this year for women's, when we're celebrating the Women's Day as well, where we had the 1,000 Women in Design Scholarship together with Jenny's as well. And we had amazing results. We have people that completed the lessons within 2 weeks. I mean, just looking forward to the amazing things that these women will be able to, create and do as well.
Yeah, sure. And this also does not leave out the guys.
Of course.
This does not leave out the guys. The guys too, please try and focus, try and learn. The time will come. Try and focus, try and learn. You get there. Sincerely, you get there. What's your second question again, Anifa?
Okay, yeah, I think I lost my train of thoughts for the second question. I don't think I can remember that, but I'm going to pick out questions from the comment section here, if that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So Damilola Adewusi said, kindly give examples of places where we can post our work to be seen. Also, where can we find freelance job to gain ground before we get a proper job?
Okay. For posting your work, I would advise Dribble. I like Dribble a lot. Dribble not for going to go and copy designs. Dribble to post your work, ask for feedback, ask for genuine feedback, ask for genuine feedback from Dribble. Sometimes you can post on the timeline too, but your posting on the timeline should be very, very not to say, okay, I did this screen. You know what? This is what I don't see on the timeline these days. People don't explain how they came by a screen. Just somebody just post a fintech screen. How do you come by that fintech screen? I ask myself that question. You might want to like explain, okay, I designed this screen. These are all the things I put into consideration. Make a thread that somebody can read and understand. I read threads a lot from designers. So just make a thread so that people can understand your thinking behind what you did. Not than just visuals. Don't be a time of design that posts only online visuals. Post process, all the designs I've done so far, I have process. Like I have sketches, I have iterations for everything. Let me give you a small trick. In our workplace, I have a file called trash. I call it trash. I said trash the first time. I have a file called trash. What's that trash for? So where I work currently, we do lots of iterations on different kind of screens. So if you do a particular iteration on the screen with other designers and product managers and stakeholders, and one screen is missing or it's missing something, I don't delete that screen. Instead, I throw it to the page called trash. The answer of this page called trash is because so if there's anybody coming into the company, you can easily go to that trash and check, okay, you can easily explain to them that these are some of the things we've gone through. Like that, designer, they know that it's not like as if you just woke up one morning and just get to that point where you are. Like you started from somewhere and you're going to somewhere. It is quite important, it's very, very important to actually show that a lot. It is very, I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, I think so. So the next question is, because we have less than 5 minutes to go, trying to, into the 1 hour space. So Randy Monnier said, what's the probability of getting a UI UX job as an OND holder and a part-time BSc student? I know some tech jobs are not completely degree demanding, but I'm genuinely concerned.
Okay. Let me answer that question. What if I post again and tell you that all the jobs I've applied to as a UX designer, I've not used my certificate for once? Will you believe me?
Ooh.
Yeah, I've not used it.
Mm-hmm.
I have it, but I've not used it. So you being an OND holder or BSc holder doesn't mean you can't get a job. You can get a job while you're in school. I have some teammates that I work with here that are still in school currently. So they're still in school currently, yeah. And so where's the certificate coming in? Yeah, I think it's basically about what you can offer. You have to show people that you can offer them, like, you have to be able to, I mentioned something about bringing stuff to the table. Ask yourself, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? That's the first question to ask yourself. If you know what you are bringing to the table, I don't think your BSc or HND would really matter here. Because even while they see that skill, that, okay, you have certificates, you've seen it. Okay, what are some of the things you've done? That's the first question I would ask you. What's your portfolio? Your portfolio does not contain your BSc. Your portfolio contains, okay, you work on this project. What did you do? Who did you feature? What are some of the pain points you work on? Who are the team members? These are the things they want to see. People want to evaluate your experience. I don't think your BSc will give you that.
Yeah.
I don't actually think so.
Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of discussion on this, if your BSc is important or not. And a lot of people have the opinion, they are on the opinion that regardless, still get one. It doesn't stop you from getting a job, especially one in the tech space.
Yeah.
And one of the things that...
Let me cut it short.
Mm-hmm.
Please let me cut it short a bit. Please, I'm not saying you should not go to school. please go to school, get a certificate. It is very, very important. Like in Nigeria, get a certificate. But sometimes, probably it depends on what you want to use it for. But you might use it at one point. I don't know, but it's good to it's a nice to have. I find it nice to have.
All right, great. Thank you so much. So this is the last question that we're going to have. We have 3 more minutes. So I think this question I answered, but I'm going to ask it again. Can I use Behance or Dribble as my only portfolio until I can build a proper portfolio website?
Yeah, why not? You can use it. You can even use Notion. If you know how to use Notion, you have to play around yourself around Notion. You can use Notion too. I'm currently using Notion for my portfolio. I'm still working on it, but I'm still going to use Notion. But a good one to have used would be your website. If you can create a website for yourself, it actually shows the fact that you are professional enough. I had in the past that they don't value Behance, they value Dribble, but I've seen guys tell me that they got their work from Dribble. I still had one recently. I told me got the job from Dribble, Nigerian. So just keep on posting your work. So I think what Behance applies to that. I think workplace. So workplace will allow you, once you see that you have Dribble portfolio, you just keep it out. It depends on who you are applying to, actually. I know some people don't have a portfolio at all and they get high paying gigs. I know them. So what has worked for me is portfolio has worked for me. That's really worked for me, but not 100% worked for me. So if you want to get something, get a website, have a website for yourself. If you're not having a website for yourself, you can use Dribble to post your work sparingly. Sparingly, I mean this. Okay, make the design, post the designs, because you don't know where grant might come from. I had a job inquiry from Dribble recently. I don't know. I think it's supposed to have been posting recently and stuff. I don't know. But I've had guys that have lots of works on their Dribble profile, not small design, real UI chops. What I mean by real UI chops is serious SaaS products, serious designs that takes time. What a product, I just post a description about a product. That even if you're seeing, this person took time to do this one, not like copied anywhere. So if it's real UI chops or Dribble, I accept that. But for Behance, you can use it to post your comprehensive case studies. But I prefer Notion. It's a Notion page. I think somebody called. I have a template by one of the designers, I think Praise or somebody, which I saved on my drive or something. So she did more like a portfolio design template on Notion that I can actually share to people. So you can use that too. So, and also another thing I forgot to tell everyone is, please try and use the bookmark feature as a designer. Please use the bookmark feature a lot on Twitter. There are some wonderful articles you see that I want to save. I use Twitter bookmarks a lot, so I save them a lot on my Twitter site. So once I need something, I just go there and go and reference to them. If I need that portfolio template now is on my Dribble, it's on my Twitter bookmark. I just go there and search for it and send it to the person. That's all. So once I see wonderful things like that, just bookmark. That's what I do. You can try it too. It works.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Idris. Thank you for spending your time with us. So I'm going to ask this bonus question. I call it bonus question, but what tools do you use right now?
Okay, currently I use Figma for main designs. I do all my designs in Figma. But if I see a need for because I do brand design one time, so the reason why I do brand design, I use Illustrator too for logo. I want to do things like logo, I want to do things like branding. But now I've moved my branding style guide and stuff to Figma because Figma now has an ability to actually you can copy all the frames in one page as a PDF. That's a super big feature.
Wow.
Because Illustrator is quite stressful. So when I finish my branding style, so I have to go and do branding style guides in Illustrator. And one thing I just hate Illustrator for is the fact that it doesn't have those lines, those grid kind of stuff. I can do that in Figma without even wasting my time. So Illustrator still has to just load. So I've moved my style guide to Figma now. I only do things called logo design. core logo design, core branding, do it on Figma. If I need to do things like, because I know how to use Photoshop to not do some small graphic design. So if I need to do designs like that, I use Photoshop too. Currently I'm learning After Effects. That's the way I'm still learning. So I like motion design. Motion design is another field I can actually also venture into, because you see some things about movement. And don't be shocked. Don't be so afraid to reach out to people and ask them how they do particular stuff. Me, I have good rapport with my developers. They're my friend. We don't fight. Because if you fight with the developer, they will not do good job for you. So have good rapport with your devs. Don't just design only. Understand APIs. Sorry, understand documentation. Use documentation to design. Understand how to read APIs. Understand how to talk to developers. Understand how they would use a particular, if it's a button. That's why I use design system a lot. Understand how they use it in their own way, so they can design the way they think. So I call it think like a developer, not think like a designer. We're a designer, yeah, but before I can actually build a product, please think like a dev. Think like the dev that will implement it first and foremost. If not, you end up just do design, do now. So just think like a dev, design like a dev that wants to implement it. If you want to get pixel perfection, design like a dev. That's the best thing you can do. So have good rapport with your devs, please. Please have good rapport with your devs.
All right, thank you so much, Idris. And Samuel Omani, I'm sure you've gotten your answer from what you just said. So any other questions? If you have any other questions for the speakers or for I4G in general, you can tweet at us on our Twitter page or ask on the Telegram group as if you're a second member. And that way we definitely are going to answer your questions. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar. Thank you so much, Idris. Please don't forget to tag at him, ask him questions. He's definitely somebody willing to help, especially in the design space. All right, thank you so much, Idris. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you very much, Hanifa.
Yeah.
And you too. Have a nice day.
Nice day. Bye.
Bye.